Perfect. Thank you. So just one update for everyone to be familiar with our schedule today. So we're going to spend about 5 to 10 minutes to quickly explain what this is actually, the 12 weeks is actually like. And then we're going to spend about 5 to 10 minutes to do a short Q&A for everyone to ask questions. And then the rest of the time, we're going to do a breakout room. So you can spend time in a smaller group to actually ask questions, answer questions, or share your progress. So first of all, it is going to be 12 weeks. The online courses are free, and they will always be there. So you're free to actually access to it anytime. So if you feel like you are slow in the progress, it doesn't really matter. The reason of this 12-week cohort is to a set time for people from Nebius, so they can actually arrange everyone to answer your questions to it. If there is anything happening in the coursework and you want to ask them, they are there to answer the questions. So that's the whole meaning of having a 12-week cohort. And running in parallel, what this study group is doing is that we are actually running a study group in case you feel like, okay, there are some questions which you cannot ask or it doesn't get answered during that Q&A cohort. Because for people who join the cohort, you realize, okay, there are actually some people couldn't even get into the Q&A. So if you have other questions and if you feel like, okay, this question I do not want to ask them, like I feel like this is a stupid questions, and feel free to ask in our study group. I would say like majority of us are actually in the same progress. And where can you find all the information? So in our Slack channel, the large language model engineering study group, on the top of this Slack, there is a canvas called All You Need Large Language Model, LLM. And this is where you can find all the updated information I think we need to share with everyone. At the same time, it also contains a Discord link. So this Discord link belongs to Nebius Academy. So it'll be really nice if you want to know more, because I actually check their Discord channels closely. Sometimes there are some updated information. I'll put it in our Slack channel. But if you want to get the first-hand question, because in the Discord channel, people ask a lot of questions. People raise the problems they actually see in the coursework. So it's really nice vibe over there, and a lot of questions being asked over there as well. Because we're actually moving messages around, so we might be a little bit slow in this. Do follow their Discord, have a look of what they discussed over there. So yeah, the next thing is actually about the study buddy. We do actually I think someone actually suggested this. It would be really nice to have a study buddy. I know just working by yourself can be a little bit tricky, and sometimes if I'm working by myself, I'm not going to reach that much progress, but it's much more motivated if I have someone who has the same progress and also encourage me. It's like, oh, she finished 1.2, I really need to finish 1.2 like in the next few hours or in the next day. So it's really helpful. Do you find yourself a study buddy? We do have a specific message in our channel. And it's also within Canvas. So if you want to find a study buddy, just go there and look for someone and do contact them. Once you paired up with someone, sorry, not just paired up, once you are in a small group of 3 or 4 or 5 persons, do contact them to say, okay, should we arrange a time to actually talk, or just set up a small group chat with them in our Slack, and then say, okay, let's have a chat. This is my progress. What about you? Okay. Yes. So basically, that's everything about this course. What I want to do next is ask the tough question. How is the coursework? What is your progress? What I'm going to do is I'm going to launch a poll. So if you go to the 9 dots on the right side, you will see there is a poll over there. You can, what I want to ask everyone is, what is the progress of yours within the course? So feel free to actually update it over there. I think everyone can see the results, right? Yeah. Well, I haven't voted yet, so I can tell everyone, like, my current progress is 1.3. I finished 1.3. I had a look of 1.4, but I haven't got time because I do feel like there is loads. I do use Cloud to help me coding the majority of the code a lot. So we can see that, okay, we do have someone who actually working on 1.4 now. That's very impressive. Do you remember we have 2 weeks to finish the whole thing? So don't worry, you still got time. Even if you haven't got time to actually catch up with the whole thing, it's still good to actually follow the cohort or follow the progress. And you can finish the rest of the coursework later. It doesn't need to be restricted to the whole 12 weeks, and you can still read about it because there's loads of reading materials as well. So yeah, perfect. Then next is, do we have any questions? Like, feel free to raise your hand. If you want to talk, raise your hands and then unmute yourself and ask question. And if you, or if you don't feel like raise the questions, do feel free to text in the chats as well. Rajashri.
So I'm still at 1.1, but I still used ChatGPT for the coding part because I'm not really great at it. Am I missing out on learning if I'm using AI for the coding?
I will say absolutely not. It was because, to be honest, I use vibe coding. Vibe coding is the thing right now. I do believe in the future, vibe coding would probably be the majority of the coding environment. So don't worry, because I use it a lot. When it asks me to create a web app, which is also in chapter 1.1, it actually asked me to create a web app which need to be run in Colab. I had no idea web app actually runs in Colab. So I use Cloud to help me coding. Don't worry about that.
Vibe coding is like using AI to help with the coding?
Yes, vibe
Okay.
coding is using AI. It is kind of trend now, and there are so many apps and large language models. Well, sorry, not they all rely on large language model, but there are so many apps and new products which helps you to do the vibe coding. One of the famous example would be something like a V0 or Lovable. Which helps you to do the vibe coding, and also Cursor. I have to say, Cursor is growing like crazily. Is becoming such a big thing, and Cursor is kind of like a vibe code. Well, it is vibe coding as well. Like recently, I don't need to write a single line of code. I just use vibe coding, and then but to be able to understand, you need to understand it to be able to debug. That is the main thing as well.
Thank you.
No worries. I think Noreen, how to get open API keys, OpenAI API keys. So to get OpenAI API keys, you need to get onto the OpenAI platform. Yes, Nada. I can see you answer the questions. Create an account, create an API key. I think they probably charge directly. One way of using OpenAI API key is like try to use a small model which charge less. I remember in one of my projects recently, I was like, okay, let me use 4.0. I'm like, okay, let me use 4.0 since I put a little bit of money onto my account. And then I managed to drain £5 within about 1 hour or just a few minutes. because once it reached £5, it sent me alert. And I was like, oh, 4 charges so much. I quickly changed the 4.0 to 4.0 mini. Suddenly the price went down. I think it went down, I'll say, I think within about like less than 1 hour or half an hour, I managed to burn £5. But with mini, I spent 6 hours. It's probably just charged me like £1 or something. So there's a big difference. Do be very careful when you have an OpenAI API key. Yes. Do you have any other questions? All right. I think we're all a bit shy on this. What I would do is we're going to open a breakout room. What I want to encourage everyone to do in the breakout room is introduce yourself. Oh, thank you, Rahul, for sharing the pricing of the model. Very well, OpenAI main models are very expensive. Do you find the cheap one? At the same time, you can also just use Nebius, because Nebius Studio give us $21 in total. And as long as you don't use some crazy big models, then I have already made so many API requests. Yes, and bought your balance by $2. Yeah, that's correct. So I just burned about less than $1 on the broken telephone, because I'm trying to generate so many the female CEO, the female CTO images as well. So what I would do is, let me see. What I would do is I will set out a break room. What I want everyone to do, what I want everyone to do is actually in the breakout rooms, can you actually do a self-introduction with each other, and ask some questions, share your progress. If you don't have any questions, share your progress. Which progress am I in? And broken telephone, I can see there is a very interesting conversation within our Slack channel talking about the broken telephone. And also we have talk about, okay, I had problems within this script, and I had problems probably with that, or the progress, just show off your progress. Okay, what I'm going to do.
Can I have a question? Can I ask a question?
Yes. Yeah,
so,
sure.
So LLM is a really new thing for me. So to understand what to do, what should I do next? Like I spent a few times, quite a lot of time to understand the theory. So how do you think for this course, is the theory, I know that theory is always good to know, but how much it would be, or is it more practical, or
it's more practical.
should I go deeper to the theory, or it's fine just to have some kind of general understanding?
So basically, you do not need a large language model or machine learning theoretical knowledge of this to start this course, but you do need software engineering knowledge, which especially Python knowledge. Once you are into this, I would say, for example, in chapter 1.1, writing this whole thing, it would take, I would say, Python knowledge. I think I just saw a question to see whether we can. Yeah, thank you, Eka. I also saw another question to talk about whether we are going to. You guys can push to GitHub. Feel free to push. You won't be able to damage the Nebius AI GitHub, because that is not writable. So when you push it to your own repo. This is a great way to show off your work as well. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a